Progress, progress, progress. Cruise lines and the CDC continue to make deals to meet in middle ground for the resumption of cruising in July from American ports. So much has changed. Daily it has changed. And there are new requirements. There are new agreements. Is it going to happen? Let's talk about it right now on Island Time. Okay, here we go. Welcome to Island Time. Let's spend just a few minutes this morning in the islands, okay? Our favorite place to be. There's so much going on. We're on top of it all. We're going to share everything with you right now as we have our latest update to cruising. One thing is abundantly clear. The cruise lines are not the only ones working to sell in July. For a long time, we did not feel that the CDC wanted us to sell in July. But it really is starting to feel like now to cruise lines and to cruisers like you and I, that the CDC wants cruisers to cruise. They are okay with cruisers leaving in July. They are okay with cruise ships leaving from U.S. ports in July. And not only are they okay with it, they are working hand in hand with cruise lines. They are putting updates out almost every day. There's going to be what we think is going to be a huge protocol update this week. This is Tuesday morning. I think it will come this week. But we're looking at 45 days, give or take a couple, until the first cruise could leave out of Galveston July the 3rd on the Carnival Vista. There's so much to update. Let's talk about what we know first, okay? So the CDC and the CDC update. And let me just mention real quick, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe so you're notified of literally what we're about to talk about as it breaks. We try to get content out as quick as we can. If you subscribe, it helps you because it will send you a notification that a new video is out. You can watch it at your convenience. And it helps us as well because we know that there are people that want to tune in and hear this news. So here's the CDC update, the latest update that we have. Number one, issue was guidance that no mask have to be worn outside, for the most part, on vaccinated cruises, okay? So except for rare situations where there's not a lot of room for a large amount of people to gather, okay, which outside there's not many places like that on a cruise ship. But for the most part, if you or I are on a vaccinated cruise, we can go outside, we can sit by the pool, we can eat our food, we can listen to the steel drums play, we can listen to live music, we can watch the hairy chest contest, we can people watch, we can sunbathe for hours with no mask. A very welcoming sign for cruisers and for cruise lines, okay? We know that the CDC has said that, okay? We also know that the CDC is looking at the masking and social distancing protocols for indoors. Okay, last week a huge announcement was made for the CDC that said vaccinated Americans do not need to socially distance indoors and they do not need to wear masks indoors. That was a huge announcement for where we are in this pandemic and our return to normalcy. The CDC has not yet issued that same guidance to cruising yet. Will they? We're not sure. Will they go as far as to say there does not have to be masking or social distancing inside? I don't know if they'll go that far, okay? But where they are currently is that you have to wear a mask inside. They've mentioned that you may have to wear a mask at dinner, in between courses. Of course, you'll have to wear a mask in large public areas. You don't have to wear a mask in your room. But maybe, just maybe, this week we'll bring some new protocols on masking indoors, and maybe it will be relaxed a little bit where you don't have to wear a mask if you're sitting at a bar enjoying a drink in between sips, or you can go and enjoy dinner without a mask, okay? We're hoping maybe that comes. We're going to see. But that's the current state from the CDC. The CDC also came out last week and said for vaccinated cruises, you don't have to test before, during, or after the cruise, Okay, why is that important? Well, that saves a whole lot of time and effort on behalf of cruise lines. Okay, it saves money, of course, that people won't have to, the cruise lines won't have to spend on paying people to administer the test, the technologies of running the test, etc. And so that is huge. It's for vaccinated cruises, no testing. Okay. Now let's be clear here. Carnival Cruise Line has not said that they are going to take the July voyages, July cruises, and make them vaccinated cruises. We are not sure yet what's going to happen, but we are so close, 45 days away. It's really hard to assume that they're going to go the test cruise route and run at least one test voyage before then. Okay, I think we'll know very soon from Carnival Cruise Line whether or not those cruises in July will be vaccinated cruises. I expect them to be. They've already acted on their crew being vaccinated, the 98% vaccination rate that the CDC set out, that said 98% of crew and 95% of passengers, means that cruise lines can skip the test sellings and go straight to paying customers. Okay, Carnival Cruise Line's already vaccinating their crew. So it makes me believe, and these protocols is like dangling a carrot in front of cruise lines, the CDC saying, hey, take take vaccinated passengers at first, and then maybe in the fall or the end of the year, other cruising and non-vaccinated cruises can continue. Now, that's where we stand with the CDC, okay? There's protocols coming out this week, a group of them, and a lot of cruisers like you and I are frustrated that the cruise lines have not come out with their own protocols, but we can clearly see both Carnival and Royal Caribbean actually came out yesterday and saying, you know, the CDC and cruise lines are still in conversation, and it would not mean anything if we went ahead and released protocols on what it's going to look like to cruise, because they're changing. They're ever changing. Cruise lines expect that from the CDC, and that's why we don't know what cruising will exactly look like in July and August and going forward, okay? We will know soon. It's so important that Carnival and others release whether or not these cruises will be vaccinated cruises, because we're getting very close for cruisers who have not been vaccinated at all to get their first shot, to wait the time period that's necessary until their second shot, and then 2 weeks after for that vaccinated person to be fully vaccinated. We're getting very close. You know, this week and next week, if you're not vaccinated and you're supposed to be to go on a cruise, which we don't know, you need to get that done this week or next week, and you could be really pushing it. That's why I think cruise lines they're going to make this decision pretty quick, okay? Capacity levels are still, you know, so many people have asked me about capacity levels. A lot of people going in July want them to be low, of course, just because if you've cruised, you know, it would be a dream to go on a cruise that was less than 100%, less than 80%, you know, but we've heard 50%, maybe 60% we're going to see. That may be something that the CDC weighs in on this week, as they have not weighed on exact capacity levels so far, okay? Holt, and she had a great point there in Port Canaveral. She's there with the Carnival Liberty, and she said that the current administration's plan has always been, for the last month or 6 weeks, to open up America on July the 4th. I think they used that argument with the CDC, and that's why the CDC budged from the mid-July timeline that the CDC released to the early July, the July 4th timeline, because I think it's this argument of, if the rest of the country can open up July 4th, we want to be a part of that opening. Awesome point. Great words from Christine Duffy. And it looks like, I'm telling you, it really looks like it's going to happen. It's not just Carnival fighting anymore in the ring. The CDC and Carnival are in the ring together, okay? And they are fighting, but they're also working together to make it happen. I really think so. What we know from Carnival is, we mentioned this in other videos, the restart's going to start with 4 ships: the Breeze, Vista, Horizon, and Miracle. Hopefully out of Alaska in July. Okay. 3 of the 4 we were pretty sure about. It's now July in Alaska, and the Alaskan season is looking a lot better after the Senate passed a bill sponsored by the 2 senators from Alaska that changes current law that a ship leaving out of the United States has to stop at a foreign port before coming back to the United States. Okay, Alaska cruises, the Canadian government had already kind of put a damper, almost a cancellation on Alaskan cruises, because the Canadian government said ships are not stopping here in 2021. Okay. The senators from Alaska, Lisa Murkowski and Dan Sullivan, know that cruising affects Alaskan tourism and dollars, and they're doing everything they can, and they already have, passing unanimously through the Senate. Hello, we don't see that very often. Unanimous support. It's passed the Senate. It's got to go to the House and pass there, but it is looking good for Alaska in July and going forward. Okay. Carnival also broke news yesterday that the new flagship, the Mardi Gras, who's been completed, and she's been sitting in Spain for a couple of months now, she's finally going to head over to North America. She's finally going to go to Port Canaveral, her home. She's leaving May the 21st. Okay, very, very soon, this week, leaving Spain. She's going to be in Port Canaveral. They expect, okay, that crossing, sometimes you see weather and there are conditions there, but they hope on June 4th, the Mardi Gras will be in Port Canaveral. It will be a sight to see. There will be people there welcoming her. She's a new class of ship. She's been done for months. The fanfare has been there, but there's been no live videos. There's been no live reporting. There's been nothing from the ship because of protocols. And Carnival employees, and John Hild, for example, brand ambassador, has not been able to travel to Spain because of local quarantine rules. But it's going to be a party for the Mardi Gras, a brand new ship that is something totally different than what Carnival has done in the past. She's going to be home. We will get to see her. And she's supposed to set sail July the 31st. Inaugural sailing July 31st. How cool it would be to see that. And I think we're going to. Okay. Carnival is staffing up their crew. If you follow webcams in Galveston, or there's some people that I can mention in the comments below if you're interested. But this week there has been an amp up of crew. You can see luggage on the pier ready to go on. You can see the crew boarding the ships. Carnival they're amping up. They're ready to go in July. I hope you are too. We are going on the Vista. We are so ready for it to happen. That's all we got today for Island Time. It has been a crazy 2 or 3 days, and it will be a crazy 2 or 3 days the rest of this week, because the protocols from the CDC, more specific protocols, are expected. We will be on top of it, what those protocols are, what they mean to you, and what cruising will look like in July and beyond. Okay? Please again subscribe, share with your friends, and together let's build this Island Time community as a place where we can all go and take a few minutes to relax in the islands. Well, until next time on Island Time.